Hey everyone, CyberMatt here, and today I thought it'd be fun to show you what's on my Wii U in 2018, because who doesn't want to know what's on a dead system? Nobody's talking about the Switch now, right? So let's go ahead and get started with this. The first thing I have on here is Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits. This is a throwaway piece of software from Nintendo where you use Amiibos to unlock demos for virtual console games. It's basically just an ad for the virtual console, which, let's face it, sucked on the Wii U compared to what they had on the original Wii. Moving on, we have Uplay. Now, this is a service that Ubisoft has on all their different consoles and the PC, that for certain Ubisoft games, you could basically do like little achievements in it, unlock points, and you could use those points to buy some additional things for the game. I think they've discontinued support for some games on Uplay, but I'm not sure which one those are at this point. So next up, we have my retail games. So first up, we have Darksiders War Mastered Edition. This is a remaster of the original Darksiders. This isn't the best port, but you know, it plays fairly well. Obviously, it runs better on more substantial systems like the PS4 and Xbox One, but still nice to have this on the system when we had the sequel. I think this was a launch title or came out pretty close to launch, but Darksiders 2 actually plays fairly well on this system, and it's a really fun game. It's kind of a darker take on Zelda, on the Zelda formula. So definitely look into that one. Then we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Actually, I do have this game physical as well, still sealed. But I was able to get it for pretty cheap on the eShop, and I thought it would be nice to have it downloaded on the system to play whenever I wanted. Then we had Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water, a pretty cool game that uses the gamepad fairly well. This is one of those games that was released in Japan and Europe, actually physically, but instead of releasing it physically here, they just had it exclusive to the eShop, because I don't think they thought anybody would buy it. I don't know many people that have, but you know, I got it just to try to get the full, Wii U experience, and it's a pretty interesting game. It's obviously a horror game, but pretty cool game nonetheless. Then we have Giana Sisters, Twisted Dreams. This is based off of a retro game, but this is a pretty fun platformer, and I enjoyed this quite a bit. Then we have Legend of K Anniversary. I think this is just announced that this is coming out on the Switch. I think it might be coming out on other systems as well. But this is a remake of an old PS2 era game. Then we have Pikmin 3. This is another one that I have the physical edition of, but decided to get the digital copy as well. Really fun game. I really like the Pikmin series. Then we have Resident Evil Revelations. This is, of course, the port of the 3DS game. Runs great on the Wii U. Really cool Resident Evil game. Then we have a Splinter Cell Blacklist. This is actually a pretty nice port for the Wii U. It runs really well. I have had some issues with it freezing every now and then and just jamming up the whole system, but I think that might have something to do with the hard drive that I'm using for it. But still, a pretty underrated port on the Wii U. Then we have Your Shape Fitness Evolve 2013. I don't know why I have this. I think I got it just so I could get like Uplay points for it or something like that, and it was on sale. I think I only paid like $12 for it, if I remember correctly. But it's one of those fitness games, kind of like Wii Fit and things. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Of course, we're going into some of my other folders here. We have some eShop games. Well, back here we have Armillo. This is a pretty interesting 3DS kind of Super Mario Galaxy type platformer. it's definitely an interesting game. I would definitely recommend it. Then we have Fast Racing Neo. If you have a Switch, there's a game called Fast Racing RMX, which is basically this game with some added things to it. But this is a fantastic game. It's very F-Zero like. It looks great, plays great. Just a really fast, fun racing game. Definitely recommend it. Freedom Planet, very much a Sonic the Hedgehog type game. Kind of an homage to that series, but there's a bit more platforming involved with it. Still a really good game. Definitely recommend that one. That's available on multiple platforms. Then we have Zeo Drifter. This is from a TUI, which is run by Jules Watson. This is kind of a Metroid-esque type game. It is fairly challenging, but a pretty interesting game. We have Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. I don't think I played this too much, but I'm pretty sure it's very much like the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. Then we have Life of Pixel. This is a 2D platformer that changes the aesthetic style as you progress through the game. And it kind of follows. It goes from like kind of monochrome, kind of Game Boy game style aesthetics, and it goes up into 8-bit and 16-bit. So it's a pretty fun platform. I'd recommend that. Tetrabot. This is a kind of puzzle game. Affordable Space Adventures. I honestly have never played this. I think I got it in like a Humble Bundle or something, but I've heard really good things about this. I don't remember. I think this might be a co-op game or something. I'm not really sure, but I'll get to it one day. Teslagrad, pretty cool platformer. Definitely recommend that one. It'll do a really fun Zelda type game. Some fun puzzles in it, and the sequel is out on the Switch. So definitely recommend that and its sequel. We have Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones, another puzzle platforming game. Paper Monsters Recut. This is a platformer. It's got a lot of charm. I really enjoyed this game right here. Definitely recommend that one. Pushmo World, puzzle game. Don't have too much to say about this. I don't think I played it that much. Rush and Edge. I think these are both from Two Tribes, the same company that did Toki Tori. They're puzzle games. Haven't really put too much into them. Then we have Freeze Me. This is kind of a Super Mario 64-esque 3D platformer. Doesn't have like a ton of polish to it, but still a pretty decent 3D platformer. Severed. This is from the creators of Guacamelee, and this game is really good. You play through the game with the stylus and the gamepad. You're going along on the touchscreen, and you use that to slash at enemies. You have to time out the slash. It's a really well done game. Has a great art to it. Definitely recommend Severed. Great game. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. I love the Shantae series. If you haven't gotten into the Shantae series, this is not the game to do it. You definitely want to go with the newest one in the series, Half Genie Hero. That is much more accessible, but the Shantae series is still a really great franchise. Very kind of a Metroidvania type game. Definitely recommend that. Mighty Switch Force 2 here. Then we have Kung Fu Rabbit, kind of a puzzle platformer, pretty good. Axiom Verge, fantastic game. Love this game. This is out on basically everything now. You gotta pick this game up. It's an homage to Metroid, but it was made by just one guy. He did everything for it. It's a great game. Trine 2 Director's Cut. Good game. Can't really say anything bad about that. Runbow, pretty frantic, fun, kind of puzzle platformer. Yearwalk. Haven't really played too much of that. I don't know how to pronounce this. Ohio Beginner's Japanese. This was on sale. I thought it would be fun to maybe learn some Japanese, but I've barely done anything with it. Olympia Rising is a pretty cool old school platformer. Definitely recommend that. We have Swords and Soldiers and Swords and Soldiers 2, and I think the sequel is actually exclusive to the Wii U. Then we have B3 Game Expo for Bees. This is a really strange game, but is very reminiscent of the Metroid Prime games. And playing it's actually pretty fun. It's short, but I would definitely recommend it. Then we have Toki Tori, a really fun puzzle platforming game. Moving on, we have Buddy and Me Dream Edition. This is an endless runner. And you know, normally endless runners are a decent time waster for like mobile phone games, but this has some really nice artwork in it, and I would definitely recommend that one. Then we have Cube Life Pixel Action Heroes. I won this in I got this code from a podcast that I listened to. So you know, I've barely played this. This is kind of like a Minecraft type game, but more action oriented, I guess. And then we have Dr. Luigi, which is of course a Dr. Mario spinoff. Okay, so going back here, getting into some of the virtual console games I have here on NES. Only have Earthbound Beginnings and Gargoyle's Quest 2, the Demon Darkness. Gargoyle's Quest 2 is kind of fun. Earthbound Beginnings, I haven't played yet. I haven't even played the original Earthbound. I really need to get back into some of these classic games. And of course, we have Super Nintendo games. We have Donkey Kong Country, really fun platformer. Kirby's Dream Land 3. I love the Kirby games. So much fun. Super Mario RPG. Earthbound. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Fantastic games. Fantastic game. And Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers. Moving on to N64, we have Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. Fun 3D platformer. Sin and Punishment. Now, this was a game that was on N64, but never released outside of Japan. And it came out to the original Wii's Virtual Console. But it's a on-rails run-and-gun shooter. Just a really fun game. And, of course, they have the sequel on the Wii, Star Successor. But they're really great games. Definitely need to try this out if you haven't played it. Mario Tennis, can't go wrong with the Mario Tennis games. Super Mario 64, love this game. Yoshi Story, and 1080 Degrees Snowboarding. Moving on to the GBA. We've got Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance. I love these Castlevania games. This is very much in the style of Symphony of the Night and the kind of the Metroidvania style. But, man, the Castlevania games on the GBA and DS were some of the best Castlevania games. You gotta try those out. Metroid Fusion. Some people don't like this game. This was one of the first Metroid games I played, though, and one of the first GBA games I got, and I loved every minute. I really, really enjoyed this game. Yoshi's Island, Super Mario Advance 3. We've got Golden Sun. I played a little bit of Dark Dawn on the DS and really enjoyed what I played of that. And so, you know, I missed out on these games back when I had the Game Boy Advance when I was younger. So definitely looking forward to checking that one out. And the sequel, Golden Sun, The Lost Age. Then we have Metroid Zero Mission. This is a GBA remake of the original Metroid game. And fantastic game. This is how I beat the original Metroid story with Zero Mission. Zelda, The Minish Cap. This is one of those GBA games that I just completely missed. And I think this one's made by Capcom. I could be wrong. But definitely correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But this is one game that I really need to get into and play because I haven't put a lot of time into it at all. Then we have Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, great game. F-Zero, Maximum Velocity. Fire Emblem. And then we have Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones. I recently got into Fire Emblem last year, and I love the series now, so I had to pick those up. Then we have Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga. Fantastic RPG series. Pokemon Pinball, Ruby and Sapphire. And let's see, I actually just got one more here. I think this is this Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. This is the GBA version. I think this one's a DS version, or this might be the other way around. I can't remember, but I've got Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team there. All right, then going into DS, got a few DS ones. Yoshi's Island DS, pretty fun platformer. New Super Mario Brothers, Metroid Prime Hunters, really cool what they were able to do on the DS with the Metroid Prime series. Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, a really interesting take on the Zelda formula. A little awkward using the touchscreen, and of course I remember playing this years ago back in my original DS and getting a little frustrated because there was a lot of backtracking involved, but interesting what they did with that series. Kirby Mass Attack, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, and Star Fox Command. Then moving on to the Wii, I've got quite a few here. We've got Metroid Prime Trilogy, fantastic game. You know, they added motion controls to all three games. It's great to be able to go back through those games and play them. The Metroid Prime Trilogy is fantastic. I really hope that they bring it to Switch and maybe put it in HD. That would be fantastic, just to gear up for Metroid Prime 4. Then we have Kirby's Return to Dreamland. This is one game I completely missed on the Wii back in the day, but really glad I was able to download it here because it is a really fun Kirby game. Punch Out, another game I missed. Didn't really appeal to me when it first came out, but I believe this came out originally on the Wii U here for I think $10. So for that price, I tried it out. It is a pretty fun game. Of course, we have Super Mario Galaxy 2, a great sequel to a fantastic game. Xenoblade Chronicles, still haven't beat this. I also have it on my 3DS. Haven't gotten too far into it. Don't know if I'm going to keep it on the 3DS or just play through it on here. I'm not really sure which one's the better version, but then we have the original Pikmin. This is, of course, with the new Play control where you can use the Wii Remote. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. This game I have not beaten, and I really want to get back into it and try to get further into it. Because I remember I didn't get very far, just a couple hours in, and I got stuck, and really need to get back to that. Super Paper Mario. Really want to go back through this. Maybe do like a Let's Play on it or something. That would be a lot of fun to do. Then we have Donkey Kong Country Returns. Metroid Other M, a really underrated Metroid game. A lot of people hate this game. I can understand people's complaints with it, but I love this game. Yes, the controls are awkward. Yes, the story is not told in the best possible way, but I still think it's a fantastic game, and I want to go through it and beat it 100% one day. Then we have Pandora's Tower. This is a really weird game. Just a really weird game. Where you have to go through this tower to save this woman who's turning into a demon, and you have to defeat other demons and then bring back their flesh for her to eat, which slows down the transformation. It is very strange, but kind of a unique game nonetheless. But that is it for what is on my Wii U in 2018. Definitely let me know what is on your Wii U right down in the comments below, and what you thought of this video. And as always, like the video, share it, and subscribe. Till next time.